is Boss Hogg Radio, home of Born to Ride Radio.
Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Everyone was right, I was born to ride.
Born to Ride is a multimedia marketing and promotional machine with TV, magazines, streaming radio, and internet advertising opportunities. There are tens of thousands of motorcycles. We reach the people who ride them. Born to Ride. Find out more at borntoride.com.
This is Boss Hogg Radio, home of Born to Ride Radio. You can join the motorcycle enthusiast conversation by calling 863-225-2000.
Welcome to another Thursday night edition of Born to Ride Radio. It is, the 27th of May. Memorial Day weekend coming up. A lot of things happening there. We'll be talking and discussing about that. I'm Fester Jenkins. Mama Dukes isn't in the studio yet, but we've got Rob from R&R.
Hello, people.
Hey, and, of course, DB's operating Facebook Live for us.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome into the studio, guys. And, DB.
Yes, sir.
What's on the agenda?
Ruben, brought to you by Rubenstein Law. Is that my cue? Sorry. Brought to you by Rubenstein Law. Been protecting riders since 1988. That's 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Or you can go to their website, which is www.fightforyou.com.
There you go. See, you are worth something there.
Yeah, I was like, it's like a deer in the headlight real quick.
Yeah. Of course, studio lines are always open, 863-225-2000. We welcome participation from the audience. You're certainly welcome there. Again, we're going to be talking about a lot of things going on, Rob. But
when we get to me, we'll talk about the kids' games, the rodeo games we're going to play, not the sled pulling. We've covered enough of that.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much. But I know Wednesday, we were, it's Wacky Wednesday. There's a lot of stuff coming in here. Had a guy come in and say, is this the Boss Hogg Ranch? Is this where that's going to be happening? I said, yes, it is. He says, great. He says, I've been watching it on Born to Ride TV, and I just, he says, I'm looking forward to it. He says, it's going to be for cars, too. And I said, absolutely. Cars, rods, vans. In other words, if it's got a motor and it's got wheels, bring it out here.
Yep. I talked to the guys at Roosters today, and we talked a little bit up the burnout box, what we're going to set up for them. So
okay,
we got some plans for that later. We can discuss that. But also, we got the swap meet coming up, and it's also automotive. It's not just a motorcycle swap meet. So the guys at Roosters will be here. Anything you got in your garage, hubcaps, manifolds, anything automotive off the wall, there'll be people here to buy. It'll be like a great pickers day for some people, and some people get to sell your stuff. But there'll be motorcycle people here also. So if you're looking for swap meet stuff, if you're looking to get rid of stuff, that's probably your best bet is come on out, because these guys will buy it if it's worth it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They'll know what it's worth.
And them Harley parts, if it clinks when you drop it, it's worth $100. If it breaks, then you get $200 because there's two pieces.
I was going to say, my Slim, I just had to buy some new rear housings for the Slim. And, of course, Harley Davidson, $100, you know what I mean? But $285 for those for that pair there.
We talked about it last night. Somebody said something about Harley Davidson and $100, and I said, well, in the 70s we called it HD for $100. Yeah. But whatever you bought came in a brand new box. It was really worth it.
Yeah.
I bought 3 regulators one weekend. I was still learning.
Oh, well, again, also want to thank DB already did it, but Rubenstein Law, the program wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rubenstein Law helping out and being part of it. They're absolutely looking forward to them. They're going to be sponsored. They're going to be doing portions of the Moto Fest there, from that standpoint.
Well, I'm sure I was almost positive they'd be here with event setups and stuff. I haven't met any of them yet, though, so
Yeah. So
that'll be great. I need a lawyer. I plan on doing bad stuff.
What have you done? Okay.
I haven't done it yet, Mom.
Just planning it. That's good to know. In other words, it really is. I mean, you're prepared. Well, hey, here's my lawyer's card.
Yeah, you know what? It's like this. Don't even say nothing. But I'll tell you what, that's some crazy stuff, because you don't want to be arguing with cops nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when you get pulled over on the side of the road, you say, yes, sir, officer, whatever you need,
And that's pretty much how I've always done it. In other words, whatever you say, officer, yes, sir. As
soon as I see the car, I'm scared to death, and they haven't even turned the lights on yet. I was raised that way, like, oh, here they come.
I can remember years ago, I would get out, stand beside the car, but they don't like that anymore. And I don't understand that. I just don't get that mentality. First off, if I'm hidden, I could have a gun or anything in the doorway. In other words, I feel like I'm putting them at ease if I'm standing outside, to where they can see before they even get out of their vehicle from that standpoint. But
I agree with that 100%. Was when you're in the car and he's walking up to you, you're nervous. You don't know what's going on. And he's nervous. But if you're standing there, he knows you're not reaching for nothing.
Exactly.
Because the other guy's probably got a gun on you. So, but when you're in the car like that, it's too much of a setup. It's too much to the cop's advantage.
That's why when you pull over, you roll down your window. Go ahead and have your window rolled down. Turn your vehicle off, put your hands on the steering wheel, and in most cases, you'll be fine.
Well, we used to get out of the car in a big hurry and hope the wind was blowing the wrong way. Leave the doors open, dudes.
Door open.
I swear, officer, that's an exhaust leak. I swear.
Is that a taco? But yeah. Okay, let's get on to the past the lawyer part.
Yeah.
But we know who to call if we need one.
Well, of course, Crystal Harley Davidson up there in the Homosassa area, Crystal River area, is going to have a lot of stuff going on. This is going to be a busy weekend. Starting Saturday, there's the Hogg chapter ride. There's the Harley Custom Appreciation Day, Fall in Love with Riding. And then, of course, Sunday is going to be Angela Rain and the Rosie the Riveter ride there. So a lot of stuff going on up there if you're up in that neck of the woods listening. And even if you're not in that neck of the woods, I'll tell you what, Citrus County has got some beautiful roads to go out there and enjoy and ride in. So definitely a great place to explore if you haven't had that opportunity and done that just yet.
Yeah, it's a great ride up in that area. I forget what they call the coast. The Nature's Coast.
Nature's Coast, yep.
Yeah, that's a beautiful area. Just hit a 2-lane road and go.
And there's a lot of those 2-lane roads up there.
Yeah, and the signs are all there. It says north, west, east, or south. So just take your compass with you. But hit them back roads. That's where the fun's at.
It is. I love Ischachata Road from Nobleton over heading towards Citrus County. And, just a lot of great roads to be able to enjoy up there in Hernando and Citrus County. Absolutely.
And, the Rosie the Riveter ride, I imagine they're going for like a poker run ride or something with the girls. Is that what's happening?
That is my understanding. Yes.
Now that would be something to see. Because a lot of people don't know the history of that. But Rosie the Riveter, back in when all the men were over at World War II, they called it. I'll think of it in a minute. But the ships they needed to get home were called the victory ships, and there was no one here to build them. So that's when the ladies jumped up. They started helping the military. They made all these boats. They built
ships, boats, airplanes. In other words, the Rosie the Riveter.
They got the job done.
Absolutely.
It's called the victory ship. There's one down in Tampa.
Wouldn't have been successful without the effort of the ladies. That's for sure.
And then, after they showed the riveters and all that, the guys realized it's time to get home. A few of them stayed over in Europe, but most of them came back home.
Speaking of the ladies, Mama Dukes has walked into the studio here.
Hi, guys.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or whatever it happens to be, I suppose. There.
Evening. Good evening.
Mm-hmm.
Bit chilly in here. So I was
Says
listening.
who?
I'm on the wrong end.
Says them.
I was listening. Why do I feel like I'm sitting on the floor?
Because we've changed out chairs.
The chair gave.
Yes.
It finally.
No,
gave
it
way.
didn't give. They just someone gave up on it, but it didn't give.
It was precautionary.
I have to sit on my knees. Dang. Anyways,
You want us to get a couple phone books for you?
I'm gonna need a booster seat or something. You can't look at me today. I see you over there.
I'm just smiling. And it is radio. In case you couldn't see me.
So
I know it's radio, but I always see this Facebook Live, so I'm like,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
all right.
we were just mentioning how nothing could get accomplished without a woman. So
Rosie Riveter.
You are our Rosie Riveter.
Okay. All right. No, I'm considering doing it. I really am. I was looking it up the other day, and I'm really considering doing it. I might do it.
That's cool.
Are we going up there?
It's a
We're
great
going up
look.
there, aren't we?
I thought that was the plan.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great look.
So, Mr. Galletti himself sent me over some stuff. Have you guys seen it yet?
I doubt
Doubt it.
Surprise!
it. He calls me at the last minute.
Well, I think the camera's a little low now, unless you're trying to. Yes. All right, there we go. Much better.
So he sent me over. It looks like Motorfest music. It says Motorfest music rocks. Tommy, is this Tommy Rocks?
I have no
Tommy
idea.
Rocks. It says the Ultimate Southern Rock Tribute Band.
So, this is for the band lineup.
Yeah. The
Okay,
band
cool.
lineup, Randy Stevens and the Groove Makers. So I got these today. Super happy with them.
Good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Is that some
the
hillbilly?
camera was a little down a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay. The lady said hey.
They're out there.
I missed the Mason from Mini Bike Misfits.
Yep. Is he
He'll
on there?
be in. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I had a conversation via text with Ron today, and I guess they're really trying to make that happen. Rob, we've got to talk about that. I know we're not. I mean, we're not really figuring out how we're going to be able to do that, but Ron really wants to try and make it happen there.
Well, that's what today was supposed to be. We're supposed to, try to pick them out a track.
Well, you're gonna have to hang out after the show.
Yeah,
for a few if you've got
and
it.
try to do that, and I didn't want to call them and say, hey, we ain't got room for you or anything. So right now we're on hold, but we can figure something out. It's just a matter of where we can put them. And then again, there's a lot of pavement out there. It's not just dirt. So we got to really, take care of that part.
We'll figure it out. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. They put on a really good show. Mason is just has that.
Well, he's got
that
some passion for
fester,
these
yeah.
mini bikes. There's no doubt about that. He's passionate about the mini bikes like Rob is about,
Yeah.
going on the motor there.
So it's getting closer. What are we like 7 weeks away now?
Yes, it is.
7 weeks. Yeah.
7+ weeks, yeah. Less than 8, so. Absolutely.
Well, hey, I can't show off. I mean,
She's going to get her a couple pillows. Actually, 3 pillows.
she's expecting me to adjust my camera down. I don't understand it. So is that better?
Okay. It's a little bit better. Until I fall off. Well, this chair ain't no better. We're gonna have to get Viper. Viper's gonna need his own chair. Between him and Tater, these things aren't lasting very long, guys. Sorry, love you guys, but
We're going to need to make those chairs out of 2x6s.
yeah, they're getting a whole bench. Like,
We'll order some new chairs. We'll send them down to the metal shop to get them reinforced.
whoa. All right. So other than that, guys, DB, I was so proud of you on your little Rubenstein Law.
Oh,
That was really good.
If you could have seen my face, though, it was like a deer in the headlights. What?
Fester gave you that voice, didn't he?
Yeah, not
DB.
necessarily a voice. He just kind of looked at me, and he kind of cocked his head a little bit, kind of stared. I'm like, oh, that's my cue. I was like, oh, dang it. I had one job, just one job.
Well, you did get at it. I mean, slow start to it, but who am I to judge? This microphone,
It's different when you got the microphone in your face.
Yeah, a lot different.
It's like, I need a little mustache for on top of the camera, so I smile at the mustache because it is radio.
Yeah.
In case you can't see me.
They can see you on Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live. How do you get on that? Just Born to Ride? Or was Boss Hogg?
Go to the Boss Hogg radio page.
Choppertown too, correct?
And you can go to Choppertown and catch it.
Choppertown also?
Born to Ride?
Yep.
Yep. We got some friends out there, Tampa Bay, Ray and Carrie Sue. They're listening today. They gave me a call and said, "When's that radio show?" So hopefully they're listening. They're over in the other coast. They're coming over. They were the sled pulling family.
Oh, okay.
Ray and Carrie Sue were the camper when they asked for an address. The camper in the parking lot, or the campground. I'm sorry, the camper in the campground because they pulled up the mobile home and stayed till the event was over. They'll be over for the event also. We got one of Ray's old trikes getting put together by Ed Crowder. And I'm pretty sure Ed's going to ride it. I'm not sure if Ray will. I doubt if Ray rides it, but I'll be racing Ed. We'll get it going. I'm going to let a few people. I've talked to a few people. I told them I'll let them ride my trike if they come out. So we're putting it together, basically an old timers meeting. They're pulling tractors. It's old guys, but that's what we're doing.
It's going to be a really exciting day.
That's what I've been telling people.
One.
If it's got an engine and it's got wheels, bring it out here.
Let me ask you this. Do you have any Jersey barriers? Do you know what those are for the parking lots?
Jersey barriers. Now, I'm not sure I've heard that terminology
Okay,
before,
well,
so.
that's from the Roosters guys. I talked with them today, John, and I asked him about the pit or whatever it is, and he said it's like the dock at the shop where they load up trucks and everything.
Right.
So they back into that, so there's no chance of them getting hurt or anything because they're contained. So we need to make a containment system for the trucks that are going to be doing the burn downs or burnouts, however you guys like to call it.
Yeah.
I call them burn downs because they don't seem to stop until they're done.
We were out at the Roosters, the last one they had. Well, no, they just recently had one. So the one before, and pickup truck comes pulling in. He's got, a good, 8 tires in the back of it. He came prepared.
He planned on going through a few sets there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? You got to take the picture early because once it gets smoky, advertisement doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it definitely gets smoky too. It's
yeah. Well, that's why we got to, that's why we got to figure out where we're putting them to, whether we want to do that.
Yeah.
But, so there's a lot of property out here. I mean, if we're talking 200 show cars, that's a big chunk of real estate for everybody to walk through.
Absolutely.
Yeah. After speaking to Ron, I think we've kind of besides your area, kind of turned the whole thing completely around because they said 20 to 30 vans.
Yeah.
So
that's a rumor I heard.
So I think we've kind of moved a little bit of stuff.
I haven't caught a number on any bikes or anything yet, but by the time he gets here, there'll be probably 80 of them out there.
Oh yeah.
I would think.
Easy.
I would think, yeah, because Willie's, shows like that, they bring in all the top hitters, and this would be a show where a lot of the other guys get a chance to get some promotion.
Well, a lot of them's looking forward to that rodeo. That's that's drawing a lot of them in is the rodeo. That's everybody I've talked to has said something about it.
That's good. That's good. Because, back in the day when we were doing it, they had a rodeo in Tampa. And then after that was 87, I think, 1987. And then after that, they didn't have any more over here. They had one in in Daytona a couple times. And then everything's north of Atlanta after that. So, we had to travel pretty far just to get there. But everybody always asks, well, when are you going to do that down here? Well, now we're doing it. So it's going to be a great day.
Someone said to me the other day, what is it? What kind of rodeo? And I was like, well, it's kind of like a tractor pull, but some man was like, let's do a tractor pull with motorcycles. That's the best way to describe it.
Well, they started with horses. And then when they went to steam, they had to figure out how much work the horse made, and that's how it gave us horsepower. And now we'll be talking kilowatts here pretty soon about cars, because how fast does your electric car go? It's got 17 kilowatts.
DB.
Now, I will say
And
that
flux capacitor.
most electric vehicles, and I haven't had one that's a very big, powerful one, but even your golf, they have a lot of torque. Those electric motors
crazy.
have incredible torque. So
the Harley Davidson Live Wire is incredible. It does the quarter mile with a 110-pound girl on it in 10.97 seconds at 110 miles an hour, because that's where the computer says stop.
Okay.
So you cross the finish line at 110. So it holds the record right now. That's the Huffman's Live Wire that they got. We put Andy Rawlings on it, and they went up to Rockingham for the race, and she raced. She was in a regular class race, so the iSpot, the Live Wire was in the race. It won the race, and it ran a 10.97. So that's the record now, because Harley Davidson a couple months back made a big deal about Angel Sampé going 11:30 on it. So she weighs about 140 pounds, though.
Now,
now they're going to put a 90-pound kid on and break the record again.
I haven't seen one of them up close, so I don't know anything about it. But I would think from a standpoint of a race standpoint, that's kind of an unfair advantage, because there's probably no shifting. It's just simply roll on the throttle and go, right? I mean,
yeah, it's kind of rigged. I mean, because Donnie won this last weekend on the Live Wire in the ET class, which is, you tell the computer what time you're going to run, and you have to match it. So Donnie puts in 11:40 or whatever time it was, and it's exactly on it every time if he leaves on time. Yeah. So they're complaining about it. Chad Rawlings, he's got one too, and the same thing. He went out to the automotive guys, Bradenton, and they don't want him to come back.
Well, there's no. There's no
mechanical input. Once you give it the throttle and you hold it straight, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, and you miss a gear, you miss shifting. I mean, in other words, that's part of racing. In other words, that's part of the drag racing. In other words, missing a gear, well, you've just messed that one up there.
Well, I rode one. I mean, I rode the ice bike, and I mean the Live Wire, and it is incredibly fun to ride, but I don't want to ride like that very often, because I don't like crouch down and going into the corners with my head in the lead, because it is like a crouch rocket, but it is fast, and all you have to do is let off the throttle. It slows you down. So for guys like going to Jennings and places where you do road course racing, it's going to blow them all away. You're going to have one, because it's just the coolest thing. And I hate to say that, because I like the guy shifting, and I fix transmissions for a living. They're kind of cutting me out of that. They got a $7,500 bottle of juice to put in that electric rear end. It's like, why is that oil so expensive? Because it's electric. And they're already I won't say that. they're a Harley, so they're already starting to market their spots.
Yeah.
It's like you can tell, because everybody that rides up on one leaves a little burnout. And you can't hear it do it until you hear the tire go. It scares the hell out of you. Because them big fat hogs, by the time they wind it up,
right,
you already know it's coming.
You know it's coming, because you hear the pipes there.
Yeah.
But how safe is that for a bike? I mean, they're already sometimes hard to see. How safe is that for a bike to not really? Because a lot of times I will hear a motorcycle before I see it.
I try.
How safe is that?
I think it's crazy. It's not safe at all, because there's no noise. People, when they hear the bike, they still don't see it. So now they won't be able to hear it either. So it's just making it harder and harder for the rider to stay out of people's way now. So you got to stop when when you're coming up to an intersection or something, because then people, even if they had the window down, they wouldn't be able to hear anything at all.
Definitely legitimate concerns.
Yeah, and they're just wicked fast. So if a kid gets one and just he's going 100 miles an hour in a quarter mile. Crazy.
Man, we need to develop some software so we can put speakers on that motorcycle.
Well, we're gonna, they already got a couple tapes they're running. Match it to the imaginary throttle.
Exactly.
Because it's not a throttle no more; it's a rheostat. Because it's electric. There's a new language coming out.
Yeah.
Now I keep using the term ICE by mistake. It's because ICE stands for internal combustion engine. Now this is funny. The motorcycles came out as a motorcycle in 1895 or 96, and they were using them in New York City for the police, and they were electric. So they called them motorbikes. So now when they got the velocipedes coming along, they didn't change the vernacular, because the New York was the news. So now everybody called them a motorcycle, because that's what they've seen. And it was so blatant, and so everybody was so worried about it, because this is new language, that Indian changed their name to motorcycles. And I think it was 1928 when they finally turned it back to motorcycles because they wanted to avoid lawsuits because of the name motorcycles. You know, who owns it. So that was a big deal. Right. But the original motorcycles were electric motorcycles in New York City. When they got rid of the horses, they didn't want to replace it with gas hogs. So they went to electric. And I'll send you some pictures if you don't believe me.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 120 years later, we're back to electric motorcycles in New York City. So everything comes back around.
So let's see. DB's been setting in. We should do a betting system and see how long before we can get him on one.
On a motorcycle?
On a motorcycle.
Well, now I'm not. That can be even more dangerous. He's already taken a dirt bike and thrown it into a fence.
Yeah,
DB, tell your story about your one motorcycle, and this is why DB does it.
Yeah. So basically, a family member had a dirt bike. And I'd never actually, the only bike I've ever been on is the kind you pedal. So they're like, well, just take it around. It's the same kind of concept. No big deal. So I kind of do a few loops around their house, and we live on altogether 40 acres. So I got a little confident, and then, I took off with it. Well, we had a few mounds out in the field that we pushed up with the bulldozer, and I'm getting real cocky and confident, and I can jump that. And yeah.
How was the landing?
Enough where I didn't break anything on the bike. I was more worried about the bike. I got back on the bike, fired it. It was a kickstart. Fired it back up, took it up there. Says it was fun while it lasted, and I walked away, and that was it. I closed
how
it
long
out.
ago was this?
Well, I don't want to say my age, how old I am right now, but it had to have been at least 25 years ago.
Okay, so you've grown up since then. So you should be good.
We'll bring out a lark and you can start
I was
then you can move up to one of my trikes.
Yeah, let's get him a scooter. We'll start you off.
No, I mean, if there's a four-wheeler or something out there like that, I'll ride the heck out of that. I have no problems with four-wheeler or even three-wheelers. I'll ride the shit. I'll ride the hell out of that. It didn't completely come out. Yeah.
You knew what you meant.
If y'all give me a four-wheeler or three-wheeler, I might need Rubenstein Law when it's all said and done.
So, dirt bikes?
What about dirt bikes?
You don't, the four-wheelers, the tractors, we know.
Yeah.
Dirt bikes, you don't ride
No, I do not do anything two wheels.
Well, how about when you were a kid? Did you do a lot of pedal biking?
Oh, yeah, and that's why I thought I was brave enough to ride a dirt bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just shocked me.
It just looks easy, doesn't it?
It looks easy, and it's definitely not.
I got to admit that I've never really rode a dirt bike. My first motorcycle was a Harley Davidson. But I was the fat kid that if you broke down, I'd run out there and you need gas. Did you check the choke? Was it sparking? So I've been a good pit kid forever, But this like back then it was like, well, don't let that fat kid ride your bike, And I heard a father say that one time, and I was like, well, okay, And so I'm 16. I got my first one, my first Harley, and when I went to show it to one of my friends with a dirt bike, he said, "Here, take mine for a ride." And it's a real fast 350 Elsinore or whatever. So I thought, well, yeah, I'll show him, And it was 200 yards in the front yard. So I rip it down to the other end to where I'm going to turn around, and there's no rear brake. So I hit the front brake, and I aimed for the softest bushes I could see, flipped the bike over into the driveway, picked it up while I was still running, and hauled ass back like I knew what I was doing, but I gave myself more room to stop. And I looked at him, and I said, "What the hell was that?" And he said, "I forgot to tell you, the brake's bent, and it's underneath the frame."
Oh, my God.
But anyway, I wrecked that thing good.
So now they all want to ride your bikes, though.
Yeah. The three-wheelers.
Yeah.
So I realized that dirt bike and stuff, that's really talent there,
Oh, absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break. We're at the bottom of the hour. We got Johnny Lane coming from Strip Club Choppers after the break. You're listening to Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hogg Radio Network.
Check out the all-new BornToRide.com with radio, TV, industry, adventure, events, magazine, social media, and much more. It's the all-new BornToRide.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer on average got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Find us on Facebook, Born to Ride TV and magazine, the ultimate multimedia biker experience.
You can join the motorcycle enthusiast conversation at 863-225-2000. Now, here's more of your hosts, Fester Jenkins and Mama Dukes on Born to Ride Radio.
And welcome back to the latter part of Born to Ride Radio this Thursday evening, May 27th. I'm Fester Jenkins. I got Mama Dukes in the studio. She's stuffing her mouth there and it's got food in it there. Okay. Amateur.
I just said, DB, keep me off camera for a minute. Fester in your big mouth.
I'm wanting to switch to the camera right now so bad. My fingers twitching.
Anyhow, we got Rob from R&R in the studio. Say hi, Rob.
Hello, people. I keep forgetting.
And DB.
Oh, yeah. I'm here. Have fun.
Operating the cameras. Now, Mama Dukes, you were supposed to have answered that phone while I was doing there. Now we've got to wait till he.
I was crying.
We're waiting on Johnny.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's thinking, well, do I have the right number? Did I call the right?
Yeah. I was trying. I picked it up and I missed the first time. So
just figured a female would know how to work a phone there. Boy, looks could kill.
That actually happened to me today. I was having to call a vendor, and when I called, I missed it by one number. And it rang like normal. It didn't seem like, but the accent that came across there, I couldn't understand the language. I'm like, where did I just call? And I missed it by one number is all it took. And I had no idea where I called or who I called. It kind of scared me. I told him I'm going to be on the terrorist watch list now.
You didn't order anything?
No, I did not. No, absolutely not. I don't order the right stuff when I call the right vendor.
Sell them an extended warranty or something.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting on Johnny to call back, let's talk about the games a little bit.
Yeah,
here, Rob.
I brought some paperwork this time. We're going to have two. The games. We're going to have some on the dirt, and then we're going to have some on some pavement. And the ones on the pavement will be the just for kicks. We'll do that out on the pavement. We'll do the weenie bite. We'll do that on the pavement. That'll be set up for almost all day long. So if we get during the 3 rounds, we'll send as many people through there as we got. We got Mike and Spike helping out on that, and then the other games will be the barrel push. We'll have the barrel race for the guys with the dirt bikes. So all you guys out there with a dirt bike, bring it on down. We don't care. Put it on out there. It doesn't have to be a Harley to play. We want everybody to show up, and we'll have the keg push, like I said. What else? The tire toss. The tennis ball game where you pick the tennis ball up and then turn around and come back and set it back on the cone again. That's really hard. Those are the boyfriend and girlfriend deals, and those are always exciting to see because they never, the good ones get off yelling at each other. The weenie bike contest, that's kind of self-explanatory.
Well, and some of those girls get really upset. They get competitive. They want to win. And now, you really don't think much of the weenie bike contest, do you? Though,
I love the weenie bite as long as I'm not in it.
Okay. Well, I thought you told me that you considered that. What is that?
Okay, Fester. Somebody hit his mic.
Oh, okay. So you're not willing to be honest and true here. Okay.
I got some history here for you.
Okay.
The weenie bite in the very beginning, it wasn't girls on the back of their boyfriend's bicycle.
Right.
Bike doing that. That was the guys. Yeah. Because the guys did all the field games themselves and everything else. And then finally some of the ladies started saying, well, I can do that shit too,
Yep. So
they were doing it by themselves on their own bikes. And then later on when the choppers came out and the guys that, didn't like to ride in the dirt and stuff like that, they cleaned it up and put the girlfriend on back. And it's pretty cool because, again, It's entertainment. And I've always liked it to where the girl has to stand up on the foot pegs to get to the hot dog, because that's what throws the balance off on the guy trying to go super slow.
Right.
And that's what makes it exciting, because we want to see him try to fall over and not do it. We want to see that. We want to see the girl get slimed. We want to see him, go crooked.
Yep.
And then he's going to yell at her, and then she's going to yell back, and then I'll go buy him a couple beers. But that weenie bite contest has always been a lot of fun. The one that's dangerous was the potato in the haystack. That's where they put we put 8 bikes in a circle. We put the girl on the back seat of the bike sitting sideways. The guys run around the circle. When they hit the horn, the girls take off into the center of hay bales, and there's only 6 potatoes in there with 8 girls fighting for it. And now we narrow it down, and when it gets down to the final rounds, them girls are willing to fight over that potato. And you have to get out of the circle to end the game, or back to the bike, we should say. Right. And a couple times, them local girls that weren't paying attention, they'd be standing out there and put that potato up in the air like they won, and they got robbed. And they didn't think it was fair, And I told them, at the rules committee, listen, these girls are mean. They're professionals. So that we're not doing that one.
Okay.
We watched the tennis ball went up when we went up to Panama City. Well, no, it wasn't Panama City. It was Angel City.
Angel City. Yeah, I got some people that were telling me about that, and I got a friend, Tony Augusto, over on the other coast. They're going out to a big charity rodeo out in Colorado just before our rodeo, so they'll be here for that. And he told me, he says they got a bunch of games and stuff they do too that bring something new. And the games, you can set them up that afternoon. You don't have to prepare for them. It's just like, hey, let's do this, or let's change it around. But anything with the girl on back and swinging, like the tire toss or the tennis ball deal, that's always entertainment.
Oh, the white T-shirts and the water balloons, right?
Well, we've already started testing water balloons. The yellow ones break the easiest. So be careful when you pick one.
Oh, let's see if we can bring Johnny Lang into the conversation here from Strip Choppers. Yep. You there, Johnny?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Born to Ride Radio. You've got Mama Dukes, Fester Jenkins, Rob from R&R Cycles, and DB in the studio here.
Okay. Quite the group, huh?
Oh, yeah, a bunch of rebel rousers here.
I've been waiting 40 minutes for you to finally show up, so we're ready. I'm ready.
Well,
all right.
Okay, now, DB, as he was loading and getting prepped for the show, and I was giving him photographs, and I said, do you have this one? He said, no. And, of course, I was going through with the stripper pole on the motorcycles, and he says, I've seen stripper poles, but never on a motorcycle.
I tell people I had one good idea my whole life, and so I'm riding it to the end of the track. Actually, I guess I came up with my second good idea, so that's kind of what I'm here to talk about. I developed a biker app for the biker community. It's called Bikers Info USA, and we launched it in Panama City. And it's a one-stop shopping for motorcycle enthusiasts of all types. In other words, people who ride whatever they ride, Yamaha, Suzuki, Harley-Davidson, Indian, Ducati, Triumph, whatever it is. We have information on there for national bike shows, for state bike events, for, manufacturers. So say if you have a Ducati and you're riding through Oklahoma, and you break down, you can click on Ducati on our page, and it drops down to all 50 states. You click on your state, and it shows you where the nearest Ducati dealer is. Same with Harley, Suzuki, Yamaha. Also, we have all the national events on there. So, like, say, if you were in Panama City or in Myrtle Beach, like I was last week, you click on Myrtle Beach as a national rally, and it tells you all the venues in Myrtle Beach, what's going on at those venues, what bands are playing, where the bike shows are, all that type of stuff.
Well, that's pretty elaborate there. I mean, that's going to take quite a bit of timing from that standpoint, I would imagine, right?
Well, when now all of us were sleeping during COVID, I wasn't sitting around clicking. And me and my business partner, we identified a deficit in the biker community. There are no biker apps. When we asked 100 people in Daytona this year, what biker app do you have? I don't have one. I don't have one. I don't have one. So now you do. Now you have the ability to download Bikers Info USA. It is free to the consumer. It's on Google and Apple, both platforms. We encourage you to download it. It also has on there all different manufacturers on there. So there's air ride manufacturers, LED manufacturers, chrome platers, painters, all different manufacturers, jewelries, anything to do with the motorcycle industry, motorcycle vendors, motorcycle shows, national rallies, state rallies, and all the manufacturers. We're constantly loading new data. We took it to the manufacturers in Daytona. We showed it to Harley and Suzuki and Yamaha, and they were like, wow, we want to get on there. And we're like, yeah. So they were happy to provide us with data. We also have all the events that are on there that were provided by Cyclefish. They actually feed us their data. But we're the only one with an app. Everyone else has a website. We have an app because everybody does everything through their phones now. So we came out with the first one, and it's continuing to evolve. We're constantly adding data almost daily. So as a new national rally comes up, the old one is purged off. So like right after Panama City, Myrtle Beach came up. So once Myrtle Beach went off, right now coming up on there is Ohio Bike Week. Now it's a truncated version because of Ohio, but right after that, Laconia will pop up and all the data on Laconia. So we have all the national rallies sequentially as they come up. They pop up there on the opening of the app. Additionally, we're giving away an Indian motorcycle, an Indian Scout. It's also free to register to win that Indian Scout. All they have to do is download the app, and you go and register for the motorcycle. The motorcycle is provided by Indian of Panama City Beach. Good friend of mine, Derek Kelly, who used to own own Harley Davidson of Ocala and Crystal River. He provided us with the motorcycle. So we'll be giving that away next spring at his dealership for Panama City Bike Week in next spring, in 2022. So there's a few things on there. We will encourage you to go on there and download it. Like I said, it's free. It's also free for the businesses to give us their data. We'll give them a basic listing. So you're all probably wondering, well, how does Johnny make money? Because Johnny likes to make money. So we make our money by say if there's 5 chrome platers, well, whoever wants to be at the top of the chrome platers, or whoever wants to be at the top of the jewelers, or whoever wants to be at the top of the air rides, or the top of the handlebars, or the top of the whatever, then or the top of the personal injury attorneys per state, then they pay to be at that top listing.
Okay.
So we've generated a little bit of revenue so far, actually quite a bit. So people are chomping to get onto the app just because there's not another app.
Well, if the listeners on the radio are hearing Johnny talk about this and you don't know how to go to your app store to get this, if you went to Facebook Live or to Chopper Town, we've got a QIR code there that you can scan, and that'll go ahead and register if you've got an iPhone or an Android, and put it on there for them. Johnny?
Yeah, we worked on that for, like I said, during COVID. My business partner, his name is Larry Job. He and I worked on this all during COVID and getting data and formulating it because I'm not a technology guy at all. Now, he had developed an app for another application, so we took that application and applied it to the motorcycle industry. He and I have done some concerts together and done some bike events together. But as everybody knows, I've been running around the motorcycle industry for about 20 years now, so I know kind of everybody and been to every event. So, a lot of the data just came out of my head or out of my phone just because, I've been to Laconia 20 times. I've been to Sturgis the past 15 years. I've been to Ohio Bike Week. I've been to Myrtle Beach. I've been to the Rock Rally. I've been to Galveston. I've been to them all. So I know, a lot of the people who run the different establishments, the different, I know where the different venues are. So that's, kind of priceless information to have, So all that data we loaded in and, we're fine-tuning. It's an ever-evolving, it's like a growing plant. It's ever-evolving, more tentacles constantly. More and more people want to get on it. So we're very pleased. I think we're around 10,000 downloads already.
Awesome.
So that's not even a month. Not even a month. So
Yeah, it sounds
Bikers
like- it sounds
Info
like-
USA. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it sounds like something anybody traveling would like to have, because you can find some cool restaurants, everything on the roadsides too, because
where to
it's
stay,
so hard
where
to find it
here's
nowadays.
Right, here's the beautiful thing. Say you're in Sturgis and you have the app on there. We can send you a push notification if Kid Rock's concert's a half an hour late. We can send you a notification.
I'll be backstage.
Yes,
second that.
or if something gets canceled, we can send a push notification to everybody who has the app. Or if there's a bad accident, we can send you an act. Whatever data we want to send out there with the app, we get a push notification on it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Johnny, maybe this is something that y'all have already thought of, but as I'm thinking, and of course, as I'm doing road trips, and I'm looking for an interesting place. It's a place, in other words, they've got great burgers, or they've got, in other words, and they're biker friendly from that standpoint. Is that something that the app is possibly going to be able to entail also?
Yeah, I mean, we can make it anything we want. Like, we had a guy the other day call us, well, I sell CDB to bikers. Okay, we make a CDB category. Bikers, obviously anything that's, related to bikers and the events, we can put it on there. And whether it's, like Twisted Tea, they came on board yesterday. So they're actually, the official beverage of Bikers Info USA right now, because they are very prevalent at the motorcycle shows, as you all know. Motorcycle attorneys came on immediately for each state. There's a motorcycle attorney listed at the top, because obviously they're very involved in all different, aspects of the biker community.
So
whatever it is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I downloaded the app. This thing is amazing. It absolutely is
I'm
amazing.
sure it is.
It is from start, it's got, as soon as you click on it, it's very simple, anybody could figure this out. As soon as you click on it, it says tap here to enter for the bike, for the Indian Scout. And then it's got national rallies in your state. I mean, different columns. It is literally bike builders, stuff for you, stuff for your bike, motorcycle attorneys by state, financing, insurance. But you keep going. Down here, he's got, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Places to stay.
That's great.
Sell your bike, about bikers info, and nonprofit.
I want a lakeside restaurant at the bottom of the river.
Yeah, this thing
That's what I want. Where's that at?
This is going to be very helpful.
We're constantly loading data where we want feedback from the consumer. We don't know it all. We're just scratching the surface, but we've had really positive response. And it's free, so it's not like it's costing anything.
Yeah,
and it will continue to evolve. We will continue to add data. We will continue to fine tune it. We will continue to take feedback from the consumers, because we don't know everything, and we've learned a lot already. And we only launched April 27th, so it's almost like a month to the day.
Yeah, to the day. Good
month
for you,
to the day. Yeah.
So we're very excited from the response. Now we've got people calling us wanting to get on there, which is pretty cool, because we didn't know we'd get any penetration, but we obviously, like I said, it's the old adage, whoever's first is first. So we had the first biker app, so we're going to continue to keep growing, and we're pretty excited about it.
That's pretty cool.
This is nice, really nice.
So
I'm already excited about it.
we really appreciate it, and it got a pretty cool red, white, and blue patriotic theme, because we're very patriotic as bikers, and we love this country, and we want to continue to provide information and data to all our like-minded persons.
Well, certainly appreciate you coming on this evening and letting our listeners know about it, Johnny.
Yep, Bikers Info USA, and like I said, go on there and register to win the motorcycle. The app is free. Register to win the bike is free. We will not sell your data or provide it to anybody else. It's merely to enter to win the motorcycle, and we certainly appreciate you having us on and taking time to talk to us about the app.
It was our pleasure.
Hey, Johnny, did you spend some time in Tampa working with some bikers back in the day? Brad Rule, maybe?
I started in the motorcycle industry in Tampa. I worked for California Motorcycles back on Florida Avenue for Ernie Hare Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Which became which became Indian Motorcycles. And I have I know this is going to be shocking to you. I have a very short attention span, so I didn't do things the way the car dealership wanted to me, so they cut me loose.
Yeah.
Then I went to work for the wrench. If you remember Brad, from the wrench.
Yeah, I was building engines for Brad the first 3 bikes that he had. Yeah, I was right
Yep,
around the corner at the time.
Yeah, I helped Brad. I guess I was the road dog when we would design frames together, and he was a very, very smart dude.
Oh, you guys had some really nice bikes. You took it to the next step. You know, you took it to the next step.
We did the single-sided swing arm stuff, and I remember those motors. And so I would cart them all over the country. You know, frames and rolling chassis, and I would take orders for bikes.
Yep.
But Brad allowed me to kind of learn what I wanted to do in the industry on his dime, you know, so to speak. So when I left him, I moved to California, went to work for American Suspension, and that didn't work out. And then I started strip club choppers out there when I lived in Huntington Beach, and I still own strip club choppers.
And what a success that became! Yeah.
Well, you know,
every man's dream.
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. You know, so it is what it is. But definitely. And I knew Ronnie and Debbie. I knew Ronnie when Ronnie was skinny, and they were dating. So
that was nasty, a while. Yeah, when he was Nasty Ron.
Nasty. Yep.
Did you know you knew T-shirt Tim then too, because he was right next to the wrench shop. Do you remember T-shirt Tim?
Oh yeah, yep.
That was a character. Yep. Yeah, that's some good times.
Yeah,
we're having an old timers reunion out here at the Moto Fest.
Absolutely. So, but I appreciate you guys having me on, and if you ever have any other questions about it, or anybody else wants any information about it, just go to Bikers Info USA and download it, and it's free.
That's great.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Johnny.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Have a great evening. Bye. Okay. Well, it looks like we got about another 5-6 minutes left of the show before we have to break for call it a night, I suppose. Mama Dukes, you were late coming in. Anything you want to impart upon the listeners there, or
just mark your calendars. You don't want to miss this one.
July 24th.
Like, mark your calendars. You're not going to want to miss it.
Let's talk a minute for then about the pedal pullers.
Okay.
I'm taking some 3-wheelers. I'm putting a longer front end on them. These are kids' bikes. Putting a longer front end on them and putting a 10-speed type gear ratio on it, so you can pedal, and the pedals will be hooked. The pedal will be hooked up to the rear wheel. We're going to have some 6-inch tires, 6x10-inch tires on the back of the trikes, for the pedal trikes, so we can change the tires to make different classes for different size kids and everything. But we're also going to have a small kid size weight sled. So they're going to get it. All they got to do is show up, sign the paper, and get on the bike and pedal, and see how far they can go. And we'll have us a winner at the end of the day. But it's for the kids.
Okay,
that's
pedal
awesome. I love it. But
you don't want to miss it.
The other day, I seen a golf cart, and I thought, those are the tires we need. But they're too big. But you can get the idea. It's going to be like a big wheel. Only the pedal will be hooked up to the rear axle, and it'll be a straight axle. So get on it and see which kid's the toughest. You better start practicing now. That's going to be pretty neat.
Developing those leg muscles there, kids.
Yeah, well, kids nowadays, there's probably going to be 20 of them show up with their dirt bikes. Little 9-year-olds. The lucky ones.
Yeah.
And the one other thing we didn't talk about was the Just for Kicks contest. We're also going to have. And again, like it says, Just for Kicks, you kick the bike, you get to try to start the bike as many times as you can in 1 minute. And some guys are up there around 45, 50 starts. So. Practice.
Really?
Yeah. I got 32 in 45 seconds. And it was really weird because it was a minute contest. And the guy said, I said, when do you start? And he says, whenever you want to. So I looked over at my buddy and I said, well, okay, go. And I kicked it. And I said, I'm ready. And he said, the clock's going, go. And it's like, so I got started 32 times at 45 seconds with my name on the chalk letter and everything. And that was in 1983 at Harley Heaven in Daytona. Just for those that want to look up the facts. But it's a great contest because the guy's out there with a Sportster. He might start at 10 times. He might start at 5, kicking and backfiring. If it's a panhead, it's entertaining.
Now, I know we've been kicking around for a couple weeks, like the rodeo buckles, possibly for some of them, participation T-shirts. any further with any of that, guys, or
Well, I talked with a leather guy from Zephyr Hills, and he can help us out. Give him some advertisement and all that. And but again, they're just leather belt buckles or something like that. But no, we need to have a meeting on that and see what we're going to do. I'm gonna make a trophy for kicks contest, which will just be something really mechanically cool. But the other contests, we still need some prize money or a trophy or something. So if anybody wants to step forward and help us in any local shops, say here's $100 for the weenie bike girl or whatever, and get your name out there, because we'll say your name several times through the day and you get a little advertising on TV.
We should just get a weenie trophy. What would be better than taking home the weenie trophy?
And who do you want?
Just the weenie trophy.
You just want the weenie, not the cow?
Just the weenie.
It'll be a lot of fun, folks. Come on out.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Bring your kids. I think they said something about bounce houses being here.
Yep, bounce houses.
We'll have once I'm done, we'll let the kids play.
I don't think the kids are going to want the bounce houses. They're just going to want to watch everything going on with these adults.
Yeah, that could be.
No, we'll have a list next Thursday. You'll be joining us next Thursday too, right?
I guess, why not?
Yeah, we'll have a list next Thursday of the vendors we've got coming in. I know we got a few local ones. Some we'll have a detailed list out.
Good. And the food trucks, that's still the big deal?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Always. Yep. Always.
Well, when's the tasting contest start? Cause
Unami smoke. Oh my gosh! Did you guys try them during the Cannabis Fest?
No.
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness! He called me the other day. I'm like, hey, you're not top on my list, but you're second. So yeah, we'll have a little bit of everything out here.
Great.
Oh my goodness! Looking forward to it.
Another evening has gone by. Man, it just goes by so fast and so quickly. You've been listening to Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hogg Radio Network. And as each Thursday evening, as we end it, I want you to stay in between the dishes, be safe, and take care. And we'll be back here next Thursday evening to do it all over again.
Mark your calendars.
July 24th, Saturday.
If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
Yeah, I have to say, Born to Ride has been a big influence on my trailer sales in the last 2 or 3 months. It's been nothing but a big surprise. I mean, the magazine articles, everything in the commercials, it's been nothing but the best of help to me in my business.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride. Call 888-795-5779.